Mohsin has a rare genetic disease which is gradually destroying his body. He was born with it because his mother and father are first cousins. More than half of British Pakistanis marry their first cousins. Tonight on Dispatches, the tragic consequences of a cultural practice that is devastating children's lives. Mohsin Akhtar is 17 years old and lives with his family in Bradford. He's the second of 6 children. He's blind, he can't walk properly and needs round-the-clock care.
अच्छा अभी अब्बू आते हैं ना हैं अब्बू आते हैं ना फिर चलते हैं अच्छा चला
क्या कह रहा है गाड़ी चलानी है
गाड़ी लेके देनी
Mohsin is losing his hearing. His speech is seriously impaired and he understands little of what's happening around him.
आंटी आई है आंटी बोल दी है
Mohsin is obsessed with the idea of driving, not realizing this will never be possible. Mohsin's younger sister Hina is 13. She's the Akhtar's 4th child. Her sister Zainab is 11. Both sisters have inherited the same disease as Mohsin. They can neither see nor hear. All 3 children have an extremely rare genetic disorder called mucolipidosis type 4. Their bodies cannot get rid of waste products properly, affecting everyday brain function from vision to movement.
क्या लेना है तो ये खानी है ब्रेड खानी है ये खानी है
दोनों बिल्कुल ही ब्लाइंड है
इसको थोड़ा सा लाइट ऑन और ऑफ इसको पता चलता है ये तो मेरे ऑलमोस्ट हो चुकी है ब्लाइंड
The potential consequences of first cousin marriages are tragic and devastating. My grandparents are first cousins. 5 of their daughters died in childhood and 3 of my uncles were born deaf. At the time no one knew why because the facts were not known. Today the medical facts are established, but the practice continues. Here in Bradford, where the Akhtars live, 75% of Pakistanis marry their first cousins. Anywhere between 4 and 10% of the children in these families will be born with genetic abnormalities. And these illnesses are often fatal. 1/3 of children with diseases caused by recessive genes will die before they turn 5. The disease affecting Mohsin, Hina and Zainab is the direct result of their mother and father being first cousins. Both parents carry the recessive gene that has caused the children's disabilities. If they had married outside of the family, there would have been only a tiny chance of their children being born with the genetic disorder. But in the case of the Akhtars as first cousins, the odds narrowed dramatically to a 1 in 4 chance that any child they had would be born with the illness. In the event, 3 of their 6 children were born with the disease. Fatima is the youngest and healthy. She's 7 years old and has had to watch her siblings deteriorate over the years. So what's it like living, having 2 sisters? Is it fun? What's the best bit?
Play together.
Yeah,
What's the most difficult bit?
You know, like when they crying and we can't stop them crying.
You upset इतना क्यों होता है?
नज़र नहीं आता, ज़ाहिरी बात है कि वो चाहता है मैं जिस तरह इस उम्र के बच्चे होने चाहिए वैसे वो सोचता है ना कि मैं गाड़ी चला सकूं, मैं जिस तरह बच्चे बाहर जाते हैं लेके गाड़ी ऐसे वो करता है ना, उसका ज़हन ये बात कबूल नहीं करता कि मैं ब्लाइंड हो चुका हूँ।
How do you feel?
बहुत दुख होता है क्योंकि ये बच्चा बहुत नॉर्मल था। अगर ये बच्चे नॉर्मल होते तो अपने अपने घर के हो जाते, वक्त के साथ साथ अपना आप संभाल लेते। तो एज वाइज तो मुझे बहुत मुश्किल महसूस हो रहा है ना, मैं कैसे इनको करूँगी डील।
Over in Birmingham, home to one of the largest Pakistani communities in Britain, 50% marry their first cousins. The children born into these families are 10 times more likely to be born with recessive genetic disorders. And 1 in 10 of those will die in infancy or suffer a chronic disability. Doctors in Birmingham have grave concerns about cousin marriages, or as they call it, consanguinity. Dr. David Milford is a renal specialist at the Birmingham Children's Hospital. He says the problem is on the rise. What kind of impact of first cousin marriages have you seen in this hospital?
In my own specialty, which is children's kidneys, we've seen from national data, comparing figures from 2004 to recent figures 2008, 2009, we've seen that the proportion of consanguineous relations with genetic disease, we've seen that increase from about 17% to 21%. So certainly in our own very small specialty area, we have seen a change. Most of the consanguineous marriages are within Muslim, Pakistani and Bangladeshi families. So for us it's wherever populations of those origins, where they are concentrated, that's where we see the highest amount of genetic disease.
What kind of pressure do these cases put on the resources that you have?
We see some children with very serious disease. We've had children who presented soon after birth with kidney failure requiring artificial kidney treatment, and they then go on to require kidney and liver transplantation to correct their genetic defect. And then we see other children who are more mildly affected, who have some degree of kidney impairment, but not enough to require artificial kidney treatment or transplantation. So it's quite variable.
A major report published in 2008 shows that 1/3 of all children suffering from rare genetic diseases are British Pakistani, yet they only make up 1.5% of the total population. More than 70 published British scientific studies have shown that cousin marriages lead to an increased chance of having a child born with a rare genetic disorder. A significant number of these children will have serious kidney or liver problems.
As you can see, I've got a lot of medicines there. There's a carnitine, alpha-con. I've got 2 of them a daily. And these are one of other day. That carnitine, I've got that day and that. And I've got some more there. They're basically all for the liver, basically.
Azmat Mahmood lives in Nelson, Lancashire. He's 17 years old and lives with his mum, Parveen.
God, I smell these medicines really bad.
He has to take a powerful cocktail of medications to help him get through his day. Sometimes as many as 11 tablets at a time. He has a rare genetic condition called propionic acidemia. He lacks an enzyme that breaks down protein in the body.
Yeah, you only have them in the morning. Yeah, one of that.
Azmat was diagnosed at 15 months old and was one of the youngest children in the UK ever to have a liver transplant.
And that's it. Put them back. And there I've had my medicine and I've scarf water. These medicines are a lot strong, so it can make you a bit hyper sometimes. So a lot of medicines I've got to keep. If I don't have them, then I can feel a bit weird sometimes, not myself. So it's important that I have them.
When Azmat was first diagnosed, his doctors told Parveen that his rare liver condition was hereditary. By marrying her first cousin, she and her husband increased the chances of passing the disease on to their children.
So after his transplant, oh bless him. It was when he was born. Just he wasn't drinking his milk and things and he was lethargic. So I did some tests, you know, that's when they found out when there was something not right. Well, at first they said there was no cure, and then, because I kept pushing it, whenever time I went to the clinic I said there must be something you can do, and they said, well, we can try a liver transplant, but it's not 100% guarantee it's going to work.
Azmat's rare condition is progressive and his body is slowly deteriorating.
This one's more weaker. It's just like wearing out. I don't know what to do for it, but I started getting worse. Like, you know, you have pains and stuff, and as you can see, that's a bit smaller. This arm's a bit smaller, but whereas this feels more stronger. Like sleeping and stuff, when I sleep on the side, it could hurt sometimes. My mum has to massage it all the time.
Oh, that's sweet, isn't it? Thanks. Did you make it yourself?
Yeah, I made it myself.
Did you manage?
Yeah, I managed to make it. I made it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They haven't been doing liver transplants that long in children for them to know how long it will last. But I try not to think about that.
Cousin marriages have been a long-established cultural tradition amongst many British Pakistani families. But it's not just within this community. In the past, the British royal family married their first cousins too. Today, though, it is mostly Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and some Middle Eastern and East African families that continue the custom. Shafkat Mirza is a journalist and has lived in Sheffield with his family for the last 30 years. He invited me to his local community centre to meet friends, some of whom are married to their first cousins. They said they've never experienced any health problems.
Is it a good patch?
Oh, yes.
There's a story.
In Sheffield, we've got about a population of about 25,000 Pakistanis living.
What's your view about cousin marriages?
For 800 years, we prefer to marry within our families. May not be the first cousin, maybe the second cousin or third cousin, but we marry. I am married for the last 25 years successfully with my first cousin, and I've got 5 children. And thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they're all fine and well.
I'm married to my first cousin. You know, I've seen many benefits of it. You're in the same circle of relatives as your partner, and they have a real understanding and often probably go that extra mile.
My wife is my mother's sister's daughter. Yeah, we are cousins, but anyway, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thanking my children, all 3 are healthy.
So would you encourage your children to marry cousins?
If they want to.